we look here?
Pretty good.
Just as long as you can see both of us pretty well, like
right
from
there,
like waist up.
Yeah, that's the shit.
Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my YouTube channel. I am here with Lance with Firebird Nutrition. This is my home supplement store in Scottsdale, Arizona. Today we're bringing you Supplement 101 for beginner. I get a lot of questions on, hey Alicia, I'm a beginner just getting back in the gym. What's safe for me to take? What's budget friendly? And with Lance, we're gonna go through his whole store in a non-biased way and talk about every product, every type of brand. Touch base on the 4 major keys for beginners. We're going to talk about protein, whey, and casein. We're going to talk about fish oil, a multivitamin, and BCAAs with glutamine. Lance here is the professional. He's been in the supplement industry for over
25 years.
25 years. I come and ask him questions anytime I need to know something new about what I'd like to take or any goals of mine. So I'm glad to have him here and we'll get started. Okay guys, so we're in the whey protein section.
Okay, so whey basically comes in 2 forms, whey isolate and whey concentrate. Whey concentrate's the whole food version. It's typically the less expensive version. Whey concentrate typically has a little bit more natural fat, natural sugar. So we're talking about 2 grams of sugar, 2 grams of fat. Trainers have said, you know, grab a whey isolate, it's the best. It's typically more refined, it's more processed, so there's gonna be less fat, less sugar. Isolates take you into half a gram of sugar, half a gram of fat, so not a huge difference.
Not that big, yeah. So for a beginner on a low budget, just getting back into the gym, what would you recommend as a low budget, good quality isolate?
Sure. So if you're gonna do isolate, any of the brands, they're gonna have their bells and whistles. So one of the best brands, probably the most recognized, Dymatize, they have great flavors, they're very low sugar, very low fat, decent amount of protein, but really all of the isolates have the same attribute, about 20 to 25 grams of protein. The Mutant's kind of new to the game. It has extremely decadent flavors. Their flavor systems, actually, the guy behind it comes from Ben & Jerry's.
We'll go ahead and move on to the casein section. This is another type of protein we're going to touch base on and the benefits of what casein does for you.
So casein is, it's typically, there is only one cost, there isn't a value version, unless you're just looking at brands. Some brands are more expensive than others.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's a milk protein. It's much larger and more robust than a whey protein. It's designed to absorb very slowly, typically taking right before bed, although you could use it during the day as a meal replacement. If you were going to look at the molecular structure, whey is very small, very fast absorbed, and caseins are very large, slow absorbed.
What brands do you really like in the casein family?
So we stick to some of the bigger popular brands. You have Optimum Nutrition makes a really good one. Of course, we brought in Mutant, and as we were talking about earlier with the whey, they have just some really decadent flavor. Dymatize does a great micellar casein. There's a lot of really great brands out there.
We touched base on both whey and casein and a little more in depth on the whey as in the isolate family. We're going to go next to the BCAAs and glutamine section and kind of touch base on if you should be buying a BCAA with glutamine, the benefits of that, if there's a benefit to buying glutamine separate, and why you take those products. So Lance, if you were to let someone know who is the beginner, what are the benefits of BCAAs and glutamine, would you sell them a product with both in them? Do you think there's a benefit to having glutamine separately and BCAAs separately?
It's a good question. So if someone was starting out and they were brand new, typically an all-in-one product's just easier. It's easier to manage. To start out with, something that has a BCAA, typically 5 grams of those branched chain amino acids, will also have about 2.5 grams of glutamine, and that's not bad when you're getting going.
It's kind of something I'm going to touch base on is how to take these Do you think BCAAs are great to take first thing in the morning, right after a workout, before bed? A lot of people ask me, especially Alicia, how many times do you drink them? My rule of thumb when I was competing is I drank them 3 times a day. I drank them in the morning, right when I woke up. I drank them after my workout, or maybe intra during my workout, and then I would drink them before I go to bed.
Yeah, and that's really common, especially the more elite athletes. When you first wake up in the morning, they're also really convenient if you're going to do fasted cardio. That's kind of a more advanced thing. A lot of beginners aren't using that, but if they do, branched chain amino acids can be really helpful. When you first step in, you've got something in your system, help you to become a little more anabolic and prevent you from becoming catabolic.
So
Really
anabolic as in maintaining, building muscle, catabolic as in
preventing muscle loss.
I'm going to touch base on a few all-in-one products, Lance favorites.
And we do really well with Cyvations Extend. It's a simple product. It has branched chain amino acids. It includes some glutamine. There's a few other products in there, like some electrolytes. If you are the kind of person who wants a little bit of energy in your aminos, you can do something with caffeine in it. Optimum offers the same kind of product. It's a blend of aminos, and it also has a small amount of caffeine, so that's kind of helpful if you're a morning person. It can be a little bit of a problem if you're doing like Alicia was using it, where you're taking it 3 times a day. You might have to have another product for before bed. TriPep uses a very high-end amino blend. Amino X is a perennial favorite. It's been around for a long time. It's a little bit effervescent, so that can be kind of fun.
So we touched base on the BCAAs and the benefits of them. We're going to move on next to fish oil. So we are in the fish oil section, and this is another really important supplement, especially for beginners in supplementing your diet. Why is it important to supplement fish oil?
Sure. So years ago, it was all about the heart. And over time, the research has kind of said, well, it's probably very viable. It's not as important. For the athlete, it has to do with joint recovery, overall health, the antioxidant effects. So there's a lot more to it than what was just, recently published as being maybe heart health.
And I actually take the Now Ultra Omega-3, and why do you like carrying the Now brand?
So I carry the Now brand. First and foremost, they don't do a lot of marketing. They're actually a store brand. They put most of their research dollars into actually the product and not into the marketing. They're one of the few companies that actually has a research and development team within their company. So very high quality. They manufacture their own stuff. Very reputable. Anytime that they've ever been tested out, they come out very accurate. You can also do omegas that are not based on fish oil. There's a little bit of controversy as whether or not they're as effective, but there is an EFA that comes strictly from plant-based.
Okay.
So if all things being considered, you're having problems with the fish, sometimes pregnant women want to stay away from it. There's concerns about mercury. You can actually explore EFAs in a plant-based with no fish at all.
That's a really great alternative, because I do know a lot of women pregnant or breastfeeding or have concerns about stuff like that. So that's a really great product I didn't know about. So let's go ahead and move on to multivitamins. So last on Supplements 101 today is going to be a multivitamin, and how important multivitamins are in supplementing a new diet or regimen that you're engaging in.
It's a little bit like insurance. I mean, some people will argue with their studies out there that say you don't need vitamins. And it's true, if you're completely lethargic, sitting on a couch and eating a relatively decent diet, you probably will get enough from the food that you eat, or the body can manufacture what it needs. But if you're an athlete, then you're starting to tap into those stores, and if you're trying to maximize recovery and results, then you really need to take a serious look at supplementation. Liquid gels by Now, Eve. There's also a product called Atom by Now. They're amazing. They come in a soft gel, but the soft gel can actually be a little bit large to a beginner or someone who has trouble swallowing. So in that situation, there's also capsules. They typically tend to be smaller. Tablets tend to be the smallest. We normally recommend that if all things being equal, you actually try to go soft gel or chewable. We have a really great chewable. You want to make sure that every box is checked and that you're not missing anything. Recovery is the name of the game. So you're going to make sure that you have every mineral and every vitamin covered, and you're going to need more. The harder you hit it at the gym or the harder your workouts are, the more you're depleting your body. Really, it's an inexpensive insurance choice. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. Even if you're eating healthy, if you're trying to eat right to be fit, you might be cutting out fruit sugars, but fruits are a great source of a lot of vitamins.
And a lot of people hate their vegetables.
Yeah.
So if you're not a vegetable person yourself, I mean, a multivitamin is definitely something you're gonna need.
And it's easy. And you certainly don't have to buy your vitamins from me, but don't just buy a cheap, vitamin from a grocery store in a tablet. There's studies that show that the absorption is very poor, that the quality of the vitamin is poor. Spend a little bit of money, it'll be worth it. You're not going to be breaking the bank, and you get a lot more bang for your buck if you get a quality vitamin.
Thanks guys for following today's Supplement 101. This is the beginner edition. I do intend on having more series with Lance. We're going to get into intermediate, advanced, and competition supplementation. A special note to everybody following this guide.
The most important thing that I always like to tell beginners, and this goes through everybody that comes in our door, we've been selling supplements for a long time. I've been in the industry for 25 years, and I think it's important to note that everything that we sell here is a supplement. There's no quick fixes, no magical pills, there's no miracles in a bottle. There never was and there never will be. This is all designed to help you get to your goals faster or more efficiently, but it won't do the heavy lifting for you. You still have to put in the work, but if you're willing to put in the work, a lot of these supplements can get you there faster, they can help you, and they can actually add some value to your life as far as wellness. So I think it's important to know that going in.
We will be back in probably a week or two, do another series for you on intermediate supplementation, kind of people who are beyond the beginner stage of training, and bring you more ideas and more advice in a non-biased manner here at Firebird Nutrition in Scottsdale, Arizona. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Is a complimentary beginner supplement guide for you guys. I know there's going to be questions on how should I take everything. Your multivitamin is going to recommend you take one dose, and I would like you to take it post breakfast so that it doesn't upset your stomach. Fish oil is typically directed to take 2 to 3 times a day, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Nothing specified with food. You should be fine if you take it on an empty stomach. Whey protein, I typically would want you to take the isolate or the concentrate post-workout to fuel your body. You can also take this when you wake up first thing in the morning, and it's great since your body's been fasting as you've slept. With the casein protein, since it's slow digesting, this is a great protein to use as a meal replacement. You can use it as a snack meal. You can pair it with carbs, and this can be your protein strictly. It's also really good to drink before bed, so it will feed your body while you're sleeping and while your body's healing from a day of stress or training. Last but not least, the branched chain amino acids with glutamine. It's really great to take a serving as soon as you wake up in the morning. Another good time is to drink it while you're working out or post-workout. I would choose one or the other. If you enjoy drinking branched chain while you're working out, it's not harmful, it's beneficial. You can also take it before fasted cardio and right before you go to sleep. Thank you for subscribing, guys. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video, and there will be more to come. Have a great night.